Hello everyone, this is Astocky here, and whoop, a little bit of lag, sorry, just generating a new world. Basically, I thought I would just do another bit of a teaser and just give you an idea of some of what is in the Astocky pack. So you can see here that I am in a tiger biome, is what I think this is called. And look at this. This is a village. Not your normal kind of village. Actually, it kind of is spazzing a little bit, but basically villages are boring when they only spawn in deserts. So I have added a mod called More Village Biomes that basically allows different villages made from different things to spawn in different biomes. So the chance of them spawning is the same as normal. So you won't find a lot more villages, but what you will do is you'll find villages that are totally different. And villagers to trade with, man, 3 emeralds for 2 iron just seems crazy. I think that guy's crazy. What about you? What do you want? 9 coins for 4 bread. Coins. Look at that. Coin. That is part of the oh, wow. Someone just did something they shouldn't have done. Ah, no, that was me. I put that torch down and I've melted their house. Okay, bad idea that. Basically, you get the idea, This is a snowy, icy kind of village that is not your stock standard village. But that's not what I wanted to show you. What I really wanted to show you is some of the features of Metallurgy. So not only now are there coins, and you can see that there's a use, you can make a stack of coins, but there should also be a recipe. Not exactly. Okay, now we have a bunch of new items in Metallurgy. The first one I believe is called a mint. So there you go, there's a crafting recipe for one. I will spawn one though and place it down, and you can see there is no interface. Basically what you have to do, and I believe this is how it works, is you take gold bars or other things and you put it in there, and then I don't actually know what you do with it. I should have looked this up. Maybe if you have a mint storage next to it, and a mint storage is made like that. Wow, yep, so you have one of those. Maybe if I put that there. Maybe if I put you in there. Do something. Do something. Okay. I promise I will find out before the next video, or maybe even before the end of this video, how this works. Ah, there we go, look at that. So, you take your gold bar, and you bang it around a bit with a redstone signal, and it presses out 8 coins. Now where was that villager? So let's go coin, make myself lots of coins, and see if that dude wants to trade with me again. Hello? Now again, not all villagers will accept coins. This is kind of a work in progress sort of thing, because they have very specific trades in their trade tables. Some of them will, some of them won't. I guess you just got to muck around with it. So that's the first thing that the Metallurgy mod adds. The next thing is furnaces. So you have your most basic kind of furnace, which we all know is made with cobble. Then you have the furnace 62, which is an active furnace. That's a regular Minecraft thing, don't worry about that. The next thing you have is a copper furnace. That is made with copper bars. Now these are part of the Metallurgy mod, and that makes you a copper furnace. And then there's a bronze furnace, which is a copper furnace surrounded by bronze bars, and you make bronze bars by smelting bronze dust, and you make bronze dust by mixing copper and tin dust. Pretty standard sort of stuff. And then you can upgrade that to be an iron furnace, and then you can upgrade that to be a steel furnace. You can see with the tooltip colors of the different metals, that means they're different tiers of metals. So blue is the lowest, and eventually I believe you get to red, which is the highest tier. But let's just spawn ourselves a steel furnace and put a piece of coal in. And now this should not only smelt faster than a standard one, but it should also smelt longer. So I've got that going there. Let's get a regular furnace and a piece of coal and another stack of iron ore, although we know it's not going to need a whole stack. Put the coal in. So I'll take these all out, put it back in. So this one had a head start, and we'll compare the two of them together. So while that's going, there are also some other items that you can make. The next item you can make is called a smelter. Now the way smelters work is they again come in tiers, and the most basic is a furnace covered by those bars. Now those particular bars are metals that you find in the nether. And then again, they go the same way, so they go through all the different tiers, although there are actually a lot more tiers this time, until you get to the sanguinite smelter. So I will grab one of those. Now basically what these do is, basically I believe it works the same way. You put whatever ore it is that you want to smelt. Actually, let's check how this is going first, because that should be just about done. There's up to 5, that's up to 7. And it's not that good a comparison, but you can see that it got 7 plus 3, so really it did 10, and it did 10 in the time that this did 5-ish, something like that. Now I believe the way these work is you use lava buckets. So let's get myself, got heaps of ore still. So you can see when I right clicked on that with the bucket of lava, it put the lava bucket into this, and you can see it put a little bit in there to show that it had some in it, and you can see it's really quickly cooking. So I'll grab another lava bucket. You can see at the bottom that little yellow thing is almost full, little orange thing is almost full. I click again, it puts some more lava in. I don't actually know how you tell how much lava is in there, but you can see that this is a really quick cooking furnace that takes lava. Now those metals are found in the nether, so basically it's a nether furnace. And when you have access to lots of lava in the nether, that's a pretty good way to do things. So that's that particular item. Now the next item, I have to look it up because I'm not 100% sure of what the name of it is. There we go. Abstractors. So they start off with promethium. Let's do this again. We have promethium, which is a furnace with promethium bars. They all start off with the base level furnace, and then you go to deep iron, black steel, orocras, and you go all the way through until you get to tallarite. So I will grab myself one of those, and basically what these do, you can see at the moment that I have no experience. If I take some bars and I put the bars in there, and then these things actually work off dusts. So any of these metals that can make an abstractor, so we'll start with the most basic one, which is promethium. You can see promethium dust. If you take a piece of that dust and you place it in the bottom, it will now turn that iron into experience. So basically any excess metals that you have or anything that you don't want, you can basically just use a piece of dust and just, like a bottle of enchanting. Now to be honest, I got 7 levels there from 10 bars. That is because I have the very top tier of the abstractor. Each tier of the abstractor not only works faster, but also gives you bonuses to how much XP you get. So that's basically how that works. So don't expect to get that much that quickly when you only have the bottom tiers. It's one of those things where you get a benefit as you go further and further up. So the next thing, I believe I showed you crushers already, but I might just demonstrate those again. Basically, a crusher is made using a furnace, some cobblestone and some sticks. And again, we have the stone crusher, the copper crusher, the bronze, the iron, and the steel. And I will grab myself a steel crusher. Let's just make it daytime. Throw that down. Basically what this does is, I need ore, don't I? It's kind of like a macerator from IC2. You put your ore in. Now this particular machine is nowhere near as efficient as a furnace in terms of how much you get per piece of ore that you put in, and also how long it takes. Now this is the top tier machine, so you can see it's going very, very slowly. It's still going much more quickly than the bottom tier machine would go. But we watch it for a little while, and this will produce, ta-da, 2 iron dust. And we put the iron dust in, and just like in, another mod, maybe an industrial type mod, you can turn those dusts into bars. I believe you can also mix iron with other things to get gold dust, mix iron and bronze to get Damascus steel. So there are lots more recipes than just your basic kind of thing. And so there, if you can get manganese and iron, you can make steel. And steel is obviously, as we saw from here, it is the tier above regular iron. So you can see that using the top tier steel crusher, I'm going to get, that's only 3 pieces that have been like ground up so far, so I might get a 4th piece out. No, not quite. So I only got 3 pieces out, which is not very good, but remember, you're effectively doubling the amount of materials that you get. So it's easier to craft than a macerator, but it's not anywhere near as powerful as a macerator. So it's really something that you've got to kind of work up to. So that's that. Now the next thing that I wanted to show you, which is still part of the Metallurgy mod, I haven't really got to anything else yet, is, well, obviously there are lots and lots of different kinds of bricks that you can make out of your ingots. So if we go here to recipe for this one, recipe, you can see that you can make an igneous brick by putting 4 bars together. So basically anytime you also have lots of bars of a particular material, you can use it to make bricks as extra building material. So that's something else that's pretty cool. But these are the ones that I wanted to show you. Your normal, regular, boring old Minecraft chest. If I can find where that is up here. Should have found it by now, why can't I see it? There we go. Your normal Minecraft chest. I'll grab one of those and place it down. You can see it has 3 slots by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's a 3 by 9 chest. Now as we come over here, we now have a brass chest. And a brass chest is made by putting brass bars around a normal chest. And it has a 6 by 9, so it's basically the same as a double chest. The next one after that is a silver, so it's an 8 by 9, so we've gone from 6 by 9 to 8 by 9 with silver, and that takes a brass chest with silver bars. Then it's a gold chest. Now gold doesn't add much above silver, just makes it a 9 by 9, so it's actually quite an expensive recipe in terms of what you get, but if you just need that little bit of extra storage, it will definitely get you there. And then you have an electrum chest, which is the next step up again, and it once again is quite a lot of expense for not a huge gain, but if you really just have to have that little bit of extra storage, that might be something you're interested in. So I've been going for quite a while now. Now for those of you who've been looking at my channel, you would have seen my mod spotlight that I did on the useful food mod. So I'm not going to talk about useful food mod, but that useful food mod is included in this mod pack. Just trying to see what else we have to make sure I don't miss anything. There are fish. Lots and lots and lots of different kind of fish. I have added the fish mod. Now, I guess suffice to say, I'm not going to do a huge in-depth spotlight about this particular mod, but what it does is it adds new kinds of fishes that you can catch, and it depends on where you actually go as to what kind of fish you can get. So it adds a lot of variety to fishing, which is something that's a little laggy apparently in 1.3. So there we go, I got a fish, and it's a regular looking fish, except it's now called a trout. So there are other kinds of fish that you can get, as we saw. There are bluefish, there are also carp, and there are salmon. So there are different kinds of fish that you can get, which I think kind of adds a little bit more excitement to things and mixes things up a bit. Now the next thing that you might want, and I don't even have to bother spawning this because I've got creative open. Maybe I will because I don't know what the recipe is. We're going to get ourselves some sticks, and we're going to get ourselves some planks. Any kind is sufficient. Let's make a crafting table. So the next thing I'm going to show you requires 3 across, and then unlike a pick, which would be 2 in the center, if you put 2 on the right hand side, you get a sickle. Now you can make sickles out of basically any material that you can make swords and things out of, and when you click, you have a chance of getting a drop. And it's whenever you click on long grass. So you can see I'm unfortunately wasn't getting anything. There you go, I've got something. So you can get regular seeds. There we go, regular seeds, but I got heaps of those before. I also got eggplant and strawberry and pineapple seeds. Now this is the FarmCraftory mod, and basically what it does is it adds new different kinds of seeds and different kinds of farming that you can have, and it also changes the way farming works in Minecraft. What it allows you to do is, if you're in an area, let's get ourselves a hoe. If you're in an area that doesn't have very much water, like say just here, that block there will not hydrate. It's too far away. But what you can get is you can get a thing now called a watering can, and you can make these out of wood, which means you now have the option of being able to take water, and move water at a time when you can't actually get iron or buckets or anything like that yet. So now I right click, and you can see those blocks are now hydrated. Now at the start of each day, it will automatically do an update on those blocks, and it will remove the hydration that you put with the watering can. So you'll basically have to water them every day, but you can now add strawberries, pineapples, and lots of other different things. Now it's worth noting that bone meal will not work on these crops. Instead, you can craft a tool called a magnifying glass, and the recipe for that is a glass pane and a stick, and this gives you information about the crop that you have. So if I right click, it says that is a pineapple, it's at stage 1 of 3, I can expect to get 2 pineapples out when I break it, and I can expect to get between 0 and 2 seeds. Those are strawberries, same kind of thing. Now all the crops are different. They all look different, they all look different when they're grown, they all grow at, I believe, slightly different rates. Now you can see that by planting them just like that, they work just fine. If I was to plant a seed over here on somewhere that is not a hydrated piece of soil and wait a while, you will basically get a thing called a withered grass. Now withered grass basically means the plant is dead. Now if you have a withered grass, you can water it, and if you get there early enough, it will actually turn back into the original plant. If you don't, that looks odd. Stage 2, there you go. If you don't, what you can actually do is take the withered grass by just breaking it like a normal block, and then you can right click it on another plant, and now if I look at this plant, you can see that it's fertilized. So I'm basically using the dead plant as mulch, and that will make this one grow faster than this one. There are Also, I'm going to get myself lots of bone meal, because this demonstration works better with lots. Ah, there we go, first go. Now when you bang bone meal, you don't only get the chance of flowers, you also get the chance of saplings forming. Now this particular sapling is a banana sapling. Now again, can't bone meal them to make them grow faster. Can't right click on them unfortunately either. I don't know if you can fertilize them. I have not tried this before. I think what you really just have to do is you just have to wait. Yep, you've just got to wait. And when that grows up, it will be a banana tree. And unlike Z's farm mod, for example, which has special like banana leaves that drop things, a banana tree with this mod will actually look like a normal oaky sort of tree, but it will have little bunches of bananas hanging underneath them. And when those bananas ripen, you can click on them and basically harvest them. When they're not ripe, unfortunately, you can't do anything with them. So that's basically what the saplings are about. I think I've probably got time to just cover one little bit more. The next mod that I'm going to cover has two things. The first thing that you need is an enchanting table. And because I like them, I will grab myself a diamond sword. And I've already got 7 levels, so that's probably good enough. I'll place my enchanting table down, place my diamond sword in it, and you can see that everything looks just normal. I'll grab this level 6 enchantment. Let's see what it is. It is slot 1. What does slot 1 mean? Let's grab a golden sword as well. And let's just get a few bottles of enchanting. Make sure I've got lots of levels again. Let's go for some bookcases. There we go. So now I place my golden sword in, and enchantment up to level 9. I'm going to need more bottles. A little bit of overkill, but overkill's not a bad thing. So now I can get a level 20. So let's see what the level 20 is. It is slot 3, slot 1. Well, you have to ask yourself, what do those different slots mean? And, is my sword any better? And the answer to that is no. With the basic enchanting, all you do is you add a slot. The next thing you need to do is make a magic table. You can see here I have a magic table. If I show you the recipe for that, it is just like an enchanting table, except it uses gold ingots instead of diamonds, so it's a bit easier to make. And the way this works now is you place it down and you have this neat looking interface here. Basically, if you place your sword in, the first thing that it offers you is dust. Now what dust is used for is it allows you to repair enchanted items, and it allows you to do some other neat things of transferring enchants from one tool to another. I'm not going to go into the specifics of it. I really suggest that you look up this mod. But yeah, basically that's what it does. Now you can see down the bottom there are all these other different slots. So what do those slots do? Oh, it kept my sword, that's a good thing. Basically now if you grab certain items and paper, let's for example grab some, I'm going to grab a zombie egg, and I'm going to grab myself some blaze. Basically if you put certain items with pieces of paper in your crafting table, you can create scrolls. So now if I grab this diamond sword and that scroll of fire that I have and put it in the first slot, you can see that it enchants and it is now a fire aspect 1. It's a little bit bugged at the moment that you don't actually have to wait for the bar to go across, it just happens. But I now have a fire aspect 1 sword. So I spawn a zombie pigman and I hit him and he's on fire. Of course I don't think fire does anything to him because he's a zombie pigman, but the idea is sound. So now if I was to put in a golden sword, you can see there are scroll of sharpness, of fire, of wind, of lucky, of water, of iron, of tear, of agility, of blast, projectile, slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, slot 4, slot 5, and then a bunch of scraps. So let's see the recipe for a scroll of sharpness. It's a piece of flint and a piece of paper. So I'll grab one of those, and then I believe there are more. I just don't know how to access them at the moment. But what I can do now is I can take these two scrolls and go scroll of sharpness. That will give me sharpness 3, and then scroll of fire. That'll give me sharpness 3, fire aspect 1. If I swap them around, I get the opposite. So I'm going to go like that, and I now have a sharpness 3, fire aspect 1 sword. Let's this time get a real zombie egg and just demonstrate that it makes his life unpleasant. So you can see the little blue particles that fly off to show that it was using a sharpness on him, and then there was also obviously the fact that he was on fire. So this is basically how enchanting works now with this enchanting mod that I have. And I might actually just go back and just demonstrate the name of the mod just so you can see what it is. See heaps of mods in here. That mod is called, at the very top, Craft and Enchant. So I suggest those of you who are interested in knowing exactly how it works should look it up, but my understanding is it's not 100% yet. A little bit of lag here as the world's spawning in around me, but it basically allows you to duplicate all of the enchants you would normally get, but you can get them more easily, or at least more selectively, using these particular things as long as you have the right materials. Zombie head. Wonder how I get one of those. Oh, look at that. Wool, rotten flesh, and redstone makes a zombie head. What is the purpose of a zombie head? Sorry about that, I'm not sure what just happened then. Zombie head. Don't actually know what the purpose of that particular thing is. Most odd. See, I'm getting a little bit of lag now. As you can see, the whole sort of world is spawning in around me. I'm not sure why it's just decided to respawn right now. Just give me a few seconds and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, not totally sure what happened then, but the lag's all gone now. Something crazy, I guess, just happened. But, okay, so we're back to where I was. I was just showing you the enchanting mod, showing you how cool that is. I guess you can also see there are lots of different kinds of saplings that you can get. There's lots of different kinds of food. There are huge numbers of new items and things that are added. I guess that's probably going to be enough for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this bit of a teaser as to some of the mods that are going to be in the Astocky pack. Astocky out. Okay, just as a quick postscript to the last video that I just did, for those of you who would be interested in helping me test out the Astocky pack, please post a comment in this video. I'm going to randomly select out of the people who comment that they would like to. I'm going to randomly pick probably 2 or 3 people just to help me out with the testing, because basically I just want to make sure that there's no bugs in the pack before I go and send it out to the whole world. So yeah, just post a comment of why you would like to help me out and what you think you can bring to helping out with the testing. Thank you again. Astocky out.